Om Vasudevasutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So, last Sunday we were discussing this concept that any effort we put, any effort for or progress, could be spiritual progress, could be material progress. Whatever effort we put is not wasted. In spiritual sense, the interpretation could be a bit different. Material progress is for the material world. Spiritual progress is for the spiritual world. Apparently, in practical life, your material progress do affect the activities or preparations and practice of your spiritual life, externally, not internally. And your spiritual abilities or your spiritual state of mind, of course, affects your day-to-day life and your material life. The connection between these two is we ourselves, because we are leading spiritual life, we are leading material life. So what you are, your attitude remains the same. That's why Swami Vivekananda once mentioned that I do not say that spiritual people only should be leaders, but I say leaders should be spiritual. Because leaders will be leading the society. If they are not spiritual minded, they will be very narrow minded. They will take only one group with them, they will take only one gender with them, they will take only one age group with them. But those who are spiritual minded will at least be able to see some equality and take everybody with them. So leaders being spiritual is very much necessary. And examples are there in this world. Think of the leaders of any country, of any field. If they are not spiritual minded, they don't need to become spiritual giants as such. But if their attitude is spiritual, then there will be consideration for others. If you are not spiritual, there is no consideration from anyone who has no the thought length or wavelength of your thoughts with the same. If you don't believe in my philosophy, I will see that you don't raise your hood. I see that you are demolished. And I have heard leaders speaking that. Now videos are there everywhere, you see. So they say, why do you think I should allow one who doesn't have belief system as me? So I only have a right to exist. My way is the highway, as they say. And rest everybody has no right to be a leader or to do anything. Anyway, so idea is this. As Bhagavad Gita gives us the philosophy of life from spiritual point of view, there are many shlokas which gives practical guidance for practical life, irrespective of spiritual or material. Because it is about the person. So in this shloka when he says, Na iha abhikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. When you put effort, there is no waste of your effort. Immediate result many times you may not get. In chapter 241, you do not get immediate result many times. But your effort will not be lost. A good act done by you have a capacity to remind you in your difficult times that you can be good also. Many people, many incidents you find in the life of people that something they remember in their happened, somebody told in his childhood, and that thought rescued him from that big dangers of their life. So it is always good. Other day I was telling to someone, I think I was in class 5, primary 5. That means my age was around 10 years old. So the father will say, okay, all of you sit down. So our siblings will sit down. Repeat these shlokas. That much Sanskrit was part of our life. So the shlokas which he used to tell us to repeat was all the second chapter, last few shlokas. Sthita prajna lakshana. You may not be able to achieve that. That's fine. But the concept was put in the mind. Dukkheshu anudvignamana. One whose mind, one who mentally is not disturbed by any miseries in this world. Sukheshu vigataspriha. And when sukha is there, when happiness is there, he doesn't become more greedy to become more happy. That balance of mind, if it is told to the boy who was 10 years old, till today that becomes a happy luggage with me, which I remember, and many other shlokas. Simple, I do not, many times I feel, if parents do not tell, if teachers do not tell, from where the children are going to get the higher aspect of life. I remember when I was 8 or 10 years old, few slokas we were told, just memorize. You understand, don't understand, later on we shall see. Nowadays people, children, we, all of us say, what is the point of memorizing the shlokas and all that? Time will come when you will understand the meaning. At least you memorize the shloka. You don't need to memorize so many shlokas. 15, 20 shlokas, just remember. And it will guide you throughout your life. I remember the initial few shlokas which I heard from, that time teachers also used to say all these things. I remember in my primary school, there were 2 activities after the prayer. Prayer is a small prayer, like that prayer. Then there used to be 2 activities right in the assembly. One was called Samachar, that is the news. So one boy of our age, what age, 10 years old, he will read the newspaper and take the headlines, 4 or 5, and say this happened, this happened, this happened, and teachers will help them to every day. And the second item was called Suvichar, a good noble thought. So my turn used to come very regularly, so it was my duty to find out a good, so I will ask my father and get a good quotation, and our principal will explain that good thought. Every day, children get one good thought before starting the study in the school. How many you remember? We don't know. But those thoughts, when it goes, it has a capacity to work out your future. Many times we say, you may not be reading the books, but keep, that's why you see below the temple we keep many free books. For what purpose? You take few books and keep in your home. Keep the good literature available to the children. They may not be able to read it. Fine morning, let me browse it. One thought, it will come in their mind, will change the course of their life. So thoughts are very important. Good thoughts, at least keep them available for children or anybody. If since morning, if you have not taken food, do you think at 6 o'clock you will be able to walk and come here? Maybe or may not be. If 2 days you do not take food, if 3 days you do not take food, you won't be able to even get up from your bed. Think of that mind which has no good thought since years. How much crippled the mind will be? From where you get good thoughts? So they say, as you feed your body 2 to 3 times a day or more sometimes, in the same way, at least once in a day, you feed your mind something. Otherwise your mind will be weaker, no strength to. That's why you will find in many developed countries, a simple, small thing, children commit suicide or adults will commit suicide. That is not everything of your life. But there is nothing positive which holds them back. So it is always necessary to feed good thoughts. Just say, remember, don't remember, understand, don't understand, that all will come later. But that which is helpful to them, they definitely will pay attention to that. As I told, the first shlokas which I came in contact, there is a beautiful shloka. If you have not heard, I do not know. There is something, what is that? Na chora haryam. A thief cannot steal it. Na cha raja haryam. Even the government cannot put tax on that. Na bhratri bhajyam. Even your brothers cannot say, I want one share of it. Na cha bharakari. And it is not a burden. Vyaye krite vardhate eva nityam. The more you spend, it increases more and more. Vidya dhanam sarvadhanam pradhanam. That treasure of knowledge, more you spend, it increases. And nobody can put a tax on that. Nobody can share it, nobody can steal it. It remains with you. This thought was taught when I was 10 years old. How nice it will be. The more I come to know, I become richer. And nobody takes away knowledge from you. So, this is necessary that we get some such information. I don't know, if you Google, it is called Subhashitani. Sanskrit word is called Subhashitani. Subhashita, Subhashita, that which is spoken, which is good. And you will find hundreds of shlokas from Panchatantra, from Niti Shatakam, from Mahabharata and all that. Mahabharata is not only the story of Kauravas and Pandavas, in between. So when I had a chance to read Mahabharata, when I completed my training center in 1988, we had a great Swami who used to teach us. He told in his class, if you do not read Ramayana and Mahabharata, you do not know what Indian culture is all about. So I told, okay, I must read Ramayana and Mahabharata. But he did not tell me to read the translation. He told me to read Ramayana and Mahabharata. So I took the original. Mahabharata has 100,000 shlokas. Ramayana is little lesser. So how to read so many shlokas? So I took the book and selected shlokas. I read all the shlokas. Sometimes old scriptures, you see, so you will find a lot of repetitions and a simple expression will be in a whole shloka, so you can go very fast once you. And Mahabharata and Ramayana, the shlokas are relatively easier to read in Sanskrit than Upanishads and Vedas and all that, because they are letter creation. So then I had my own compilation. I selected shlokas from Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavatam, my own compilation for myself. Then you really understand how much wisdom is there. There are many people, many scriptures, modern, ancient, people have done work in this line. There is a beautiful book. If you have not read, please read it. It is a not very much part of history, but I think he was in 1920s and 30s, called Khalil Gibran. Some of you must have read it. Khalil Gibran has a book called The Prophet. It's a small book, hardly 100 pages. It is written in his own way, but the wisdom is very, very, very interesting. In one place, for example, he says, have friendship with everyone, but do not create a bondage of friendship with anybody. To be friendly with is a different thing, but don't create a bondage. So there are many other things of life, and everybody can teach you. So you will find in every chapter that I went to a tailor and told, teach me something. So tailor teaches according to his profession. I went to a gardener, told him, teach me something. So he taught something. Like that the whole book goes. And the meaning is that if you learn from everyone, you become like a prophet, because you are rich with knowledge. So here the shloka says that nothing is wasted. Putting effort is important. Whenever we are told to put effort, we shrink. Working hard. Today I was reading one shloka from it's a part of Shankaracharya's Bhashya. 1200 years before also he says the same thing. Whether life of Abhyudaya or Nishreyasa. Why I am telling sometimes the Sanskrit words, so that those who are not can become familiar to some Sanskrit words. Abhyudaya, all-round progress of life, material progress. And there is another called Nishreyasa. Nishreyasa means Shreya, that which is beneficial to you. Nishreyasa, beneficial to you in all possible way. Nisheshena Shreyas Karaha, that which is absolutely beneficial to you. So he says whether it is a path of Abhyudaya, the worldly progress, or path of Nishreyasa, or the spiritual progress, there is no alternative to the hard work. We remember the stories when we decided to join this order, that why don't you study a little more? No, now I want to join. Or do you think becoming monk is easier than study, is it? This kind of conversation Swamis used to have. Ours is the only order when we discourage the boys when they come to join. Why? So that if he is really interested, only will come. Otherwise he will be happy to go out. So idea is this, that there is no alternative to hard work. There is no other way than to put your hard work. Look at in history, whether they were Hindu rishis or Christian monks or Muslim fakirs or whomsoever they were, how much tapasya, how much hard work they have done. Apparently it may not be. In the modern time, you see we are sitting in an aircon office and handling the computers and all that. These are all external. The internal life remains the same. It doesn't matter whether I am in Singapore, USA or India. Send us to any small village of interior Bengal, our lifestyle will be the same. External will change, but internal life remains the same. So in the same way, idea is this, that you cannot shrink from doing hard work. Those who do not progress in their own field, material field, physical, intellectual, mental, spiritual, whichever way, if they don't progress, means they have not put that much hard work into it. There is no option. There is no option. There is no shortcut to any field. Sometimes your luck is good, you put little effort and you have success. But that is not the formula. That's an accident. It is like 10,000 people purchased a lottery ticket and one got some money. So that doesn't happen to everybody. It cannot be generalized. Hard work is a generalized work. If 100 people are doing the same work, end of the day, all will get the same remuneration. That is logical. But 100 people buy a lottery ticket, they may not get anything. So, people always look for the shortcut. And the shortcut is dangerous. So, spiritual life also, there is so much hard work is required. Many times we see, for example, I give example because I don't want to criticize anybody or bring anybody into this reference. Believe me if you accept it. When I joined this order, I knew 2 English words. One was sorry, another was thank you. Not that I did not know English, but I had no practice to speak English. There was no way that I had to speak. There was no chance for me to speak. Even I used to say to my seniors that I am giving lecture in English in my mind, but I am not able to speak. What is the way out? Close your door, read Swami Vivekananda's complete verse loudly, finish. And that we did. And by God's grace, on huge platforms, we are able to speak. Nobody is asking your credentials from that point of view. So far as you have good ideas, come and present. So, idea is this, that there is no alternative to hard work. Learning things. Whatever is required for me to serve this order or to serve people, I have to learn it. It came, we learn it. We didn't know, we learn it. But I have seen many individuals. We had a Swami, I don't think any one of you were here at that time, it was almost 25 years before in Singapore. He, in his 60s, was posted in one center in India. A gentleman used to come during the prayer time to conduct the prayer and sing the songs, devotional songs, Ram Nam, etc. One day it was raining heavy. The gentleman could not come. The temple is full of devotees. Swamis are sitting there and none of them know how to play harmonium and sing and lead the prayer. That Swami in his 60s thought, what a miserable condition. I will learn. So people started laughing at him. At the age of 60, what you will learn? He said, okay, I will learn. At least to run the show, that if nobody is there, I will do. Not of that quality, but at least it will not, we have not to wait for someone. So this much is necessary. Whenever, whatever is necessary to serve others, that we need to do. So this training is there. Many things comes new. We don't even know. Not that everything we can learn, but for the sake of serving your ideal, your Ishta, you do all these things. Secondly, there is no harm. Even if you do not get immediate result of your karma, at least the habit of doing hard work pays off. If you have to put hard work, you already have an experience. Swami Vivekananda was speaking, and in his speech he told, everything has a positive and negative side. Nothing is absolutely positive, nothing is absolutely negative. So someone asked that you are going to start the order of monks. What is the negative side of it? So he smiled and told, yeah, all the goodness of the society is accumulated in one place. That could have been everywhere, all got concentrated in one place. So whichever way you want to see, something like that. Somebody told, do you think all the boys who will join this order will realize God? So I said, may not be. At least they have this net practice of renouncing their hearth and home. At least that much they did. How many of people can do this? It's not making yourself unnecessarily egoistic. But when your mind is down, you think about it. Other day I was talking to somebody. I told there are 2,000 monks in our order. What is the population of the world? 7 billion. 2,000 divided by 7 billion. Every 3.5 million, one monk. Give consolation to yourself. A monk can give this, that at least God has accepted me in this order out of 3.5 million people. In Hindi they say लाखों में एक. So whether you realize God or not is later, but at least this effort, this putting effort to do something which a common human being doesn't think to do, then next test will come, then other test will come for progressing. Swami Vivekananda says in another place that spiritual life has this nature of life. What is that? If you cross one hurdle, the next hurdle is taller one. Somehow you cross that one, the third one is yet taller. It is like examination. You pass your kindergarten, primary is more difficult. Pass primary, secondary is more difficult. Pass secondary, college is more difficult. In the same way, spiritual life also is the same. So, there is no waste of your effort, and there is no harm in putting effort. And then beautiful quotation which you find in many places. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam, little. Little effort in the path of religion, path of values, path of virtues. It has a capacity to save you from a great danger in future, because you have practiced something which is very essential. So there has to be a platform, whether it is a home, whether it is your dining table, whether it is your prayer room, whether it is your classroom, somewhere these values and virtues have to be discussed with children or among the adults also. How many people discuss those good things with their family? Then little comes, people get shattered. Oh, big as a mountain has fallen on their head because of the no introduction of these values in their life. So it is very much necessary. These good thoughts have to be discussed. One Swami has suggested me, and I still do it. Whenever you read something, when you get a very encouraging thought, motivating you, write down in one diary. Keep that diary always where you keep on adding those thoughts. If you don't have a time to read a big book, that small diary will be with you, and just read one line which has motivated you once. It will motivate you again, and then keep on thinking of that thought for a while. Pros and cons, how can be applied in our life, etc. This munching which the cows will do, that the food is taken sometimes earlier, but sit down under a tree and keep on munching what they have eaten. This practices used to be in earlier time. The modern time, people are more busy in mobile phones and whatnot. Other day, we had a talk about it, that we all are addicted. Nobody is free from that. But whether this addiction to mobile phone, etc., whether they control you or you control them, the difference is that only. So, then when we We all want progress in our life. Spiritual progress, material progress, but we want progress in our life. One important thing is, are you convinced that this is the goal of my life? Most of the people doesn't have any goal. Doesn't have any goal. They take life as it comes. When life takes them too much in a downside, they immediately get depressed. When life takes them on a higher side, then they are so much inebriated that they forget completely the goal of life. Enjoy so much that the body gives up. Our body has a capacity, we cannot enjoy more than that. Whatever you want to enjoy in life, you cannot enjoy more than certain limit. Your body is not made for that. You like to eat something, up to certain extent you can eat, you can't eat too much. You have a limit. Every enjoyment, because your senses have a limitation. You can't enjoy anything without the help of your senses, whether seeing or touching or hearing or eating or smelling or whatever. All the senses, 5 senses. It is the limitation. You can't do more than that. So any kind of spiritual progress or any kind of progress, you must be convinced with this idea. What I want in life, I want this. Doesn't matter, everything else is secondary. Those who are leading spiritual life, for most of them, the life becomes a God-flavored life. It doesn't become God-centered life. Everything is there in my life. Everything is there in my life. And God also is there. Little religious practices. Oh, we go to mission. We know the Swamijis. That social interaction gives a flavor. And you are satisfied with that. That doesn't help. So if your goal is something, if you are convinced for something, that conviction has to take the center stage of our life. Everything else can be compromised for that, and that cannot be compromised with anything. This clarity, not everybody can have, because you need to sacrifice a lot. Swami Sarada Hall, when he wrote Sri Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga, or Sri Ramakrishna the Great Master, or Sri Ramakrishna and his Divine Play, what was speciality of Sri Ramakrishna? What he renounced it 100%. And what he accepted 100%. We are in between. We neither renounce completely nor we accept completely. So, this conviction about an idea, you understand something, this is the goal of my life. True, false, you decide. Many times people change their goal. Throughout the life they pursue to achieve something. After achieving something, they don't know what to do. There are quite a big percentage of people among those who commit suicide are the rich people, because they don't know what to do with money. Whether it is a hard-earned money or by luck they got money, or whichever way. In 1970s, this hippie movement which started in the West, the root was that I don't see any goal of why I am born, first of all. Why I am alive? Why do you think I should work hard to eat? Why should I? I don't want anything. But to survive I have to work. I don't want to do that. What's the goal of my life? Am I a result of somebody's mistake? Did I select that I should have this? All kind of ideas. And then how the philosophy was churned out of that. That why it is necessary. These things are never taught anywhere. We may not be part of that hippie movement, but most of the people on the street have this. They don't know what to do with their life. Why I am here? Either you are intoxicated to achieve something. So and so is a rich man, I want to be a rich man. And they work hard to become rich. That's all. Something is there in their life. If there is nothing, the life becomes aimless. So they are easily thrown away from this side to that side. So this conviction, if it is not there, there are two things which keeps them away from their balance of mind, equilibrium of mind. One is called bhoga and one is called aishwarya. Bhoga is a process, aishwarya is a capacity to enjoy. Those who are attached to this, just as Krishna says, Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam, those who are asakta, those who are addicted, those who are attached to the object of enjoyment, process or the object itself, taya apahrita chetasam. And this tendency, which is mainly based on our instincts, it has already taken away, stolen away your mind. How much part of your mind you can give to God? Sometimes it is truth, and truth is always not pleasant. Sri Ramakrishna says, I have no right to say. Sri Ramakrishna says, how much mind is left with you that you want to give it to God? Those who become conscious among the lay people, a kind of burning ideas come in their mind. When they come to know that you have to give your wholeheartedly yourself to God, how to give? Mind is already distributed. You have to job, you have a family, your responsibilities, your parents, this, that. You cannot be free from that because you have chosen that life. That's why Sri Ramakrishna had a very great sympathy for the householders or the lay people. He used to say, if a householder takes the name of God sitting in a corner of his house, he's doing a great job. Because it's not possible, he has so many things to do. And to make them little, encourage them, monks take the name of God, what's the big deal about it? They have left their home for doing that. Other side he will appreciate, they are great because they left their home. So, encouragement is for everybody. Nobody's life is doomed. Whatever you do in this life, you are not doomed. So far as that small lamp is burning in your heart, if that is extinguished completely, then you are out. Those who are Bengalis may know. You can try. Not in our temple we have a small picture when we worship Durga. But go to the big pujas when they do a big statues of Durga and worship for 5-6 days. Behind the statue there is a small pot. Inside the pot there is a small lamp, burning lamp, oil lamp. And the duty of the Yajamana, duty of the host, is to see that the lamp has to burn. As soon as the Pranapratishtha is done, invocation of the goddess is done, they light the lamp. And then Visarjana is done at the end of the puja on the Dashami day morning, then that lamp is extinguished. So in this 4 days time, the householder's duty is to every now and then check whether the lamp is burning properly or not. This is called Jag Pradip in a way. Translation can be done, a lamp which you need to keep it burning. You have to put effort, you have to supervise. This example is given for all of us. Many trials will come in our life, many situations will arise in our life, which has capacity to finish you, which has a capacity to completely torment, completely destroy you maybe. But somehow keep that small lamp of hope, your connection with your God. Keep it alive and keep on giving the oil of self-effort. Many times we are told, you are so busy, you do not have time to sit on your dining table and take lunch or dinner in a very peaceful way. You are too busy. What you do? You are just running. While driving also bite something, or while walking you bite something. What does it mean? If I don't have time to sit down and take my lunch or dinner, I have to put something in my stomach, so I just bite something. Same thing goes to spiritual life. If sometimes you don't have a time to sit down for your routine half an hour, 1 hour meditation, at least find out sometimes and repeat the name of God in whichever way, while walking, while doing something. There are so many things which you do mechanically. When you go from here to the bus stop, nothing stops you from repeating your mantra. So, using that time to feel, because particular day you are busy, that you don't have time to sit down and meditate. So, not to keep your mind free from, or rather feeding the mind with your effort. So that effort, the oil of self-effort, is to be put in that lamp, and to see that the lamp always keeps burning. So this conviction, if it is there, strong desires of enjoyment. Enjoyment could be anything. You remember, I remember in our childhood, say the family has decided to go for some tour, go for a pilgrimage or go for a sightseeing or something. Oh, we are going to Bombay. Last 2 days, very difficult to sleep. The mind is so elated, the mind is so happy that he cannot sleep. This has happened. Excursion from the school. Wow, tomorrow everybody is going. So happy that mind cannot sleep. This conviction doesn't get established because of the strong desire for any kind of enjoyment. It doesn't allow you to keep balanced. The equilibrium is lost. As it is lost by misery, same way it can be lost by excessive happiness also. So, to be in balance, so that it is under your control, think of that soccer ball in the field. There are 22 people ready to kick it. 11 wants to kick them to the left side, other 11 want to kick the ball to the right side. What is the condition of the ball, can you imagine? People are keep on kicking it. If ball is a life, it would say, decide once for all, I will go and sit in that goal. No, 11 says, kick this side, other 11 say, kick this side. Our mind is kicked by these two teams, a team of misery and team of happiness. Doesn't allow you to be in balance. When the match starts, the ball is right in the center of the field. After that, for 45 minutes, you don't see it in the center. That being in the center is a place of God. It's a very holy place. Nobody touches the ball until the referee says. There are different examples just to understand that happiness also takes you away from your balance. Misery also takes you away from your balance. So not to be affected by misery and happiness is the trick in spiritual life. And the name of that trick is called detachment. Immediate thought will come in the mind of everybody, but that is not possible. Yeah, it's not possible. Not possible for whom? Not possible for those who never put effort to do that. Once you put an effort, the possibility starts from 1% to 2% to 3%. A time comes when you are 100% balanced. I asked one Swami, if your superior scolds you without any mistake, without doing any mistake, you didn't do mistake but the superior scolds. Immediately after the scolding, if I tell you to sit and meditate, can you meditate? So the Swami told, yeah, it may take 2 or 3 seconds for me to recollect myself. Why? Not that you don't value the reason of scolding, but considering that too as a passing phase in my external life. My internal life is where I am supposed to be. So from there I came to know from him certain phrases that to find a place within yourself where nobody, neither happiness nor misery has any entrance. Swami Turiyanandaji, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, used to say, when I meditate, I put a signboard, no thoughts are allowed to come in, then only I meditate. These are all different ways. One Swami used to say, one person went and told him, when I sleep, Lord, so many dreams will come and I cannot sleep properly. These are all psychological treatment. So he said, before you sleep, on your pillow, with your finger, write the name of God. On the pillow, not with ball pen, just with the finger. Like Sri Ramakrishna, Durga, whatever you want to write, you write. And when you put your head on your pillow, think that you are putting your head in the lap of your chosen deity, your ideal or your Ishta. With that thought and with that prayerful mantra or whatever in your mind, eventually it is a mind, it's a game of mind only. So everything is in the practice. So here beautiful shloka says, Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya apahrita chetasam. Mind spoiled with these two, strong desire of enjoyment, it doesn't get established because of that. Mind doesn't get established, or you do not get conviction of that because of these two. Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho na vidiyate. Your mind doesn't get concentrated because of your strong desire for enjoyment and your weakness for being succumbed to the misery. No strength to face the misery, no strength to be firm and not to get disturbed by the enjoyments also. So mind has to be fixed, mind has to be balanced, mind has to be in equilibrium where it gets affected by misery, it gets affected by happiness, but immediately, as short period as possible, it comes and be in the balance. Where, if you do not want misery in your life, you have to sacrifice the happiness also. Happiness means that which is disturbing happiness. To be healthy is okay, but continuous, eagerly looking for enjoyment, that is a state of mind in general for everybody. They are the same people who have a weakness and they cannot sustain little misery. In practical life you will find those who are criticizing others they don't have a strength to get a single criticism for themselves. They will criticize the whole world. If other person criticizes them, a small criticism they cannot stand. So this is extrovert nature of our mind. So this idea we must keep in mind. One thing, that whatever effort you put is not wasted. A small thought which a child learns, a positive thought, has a capacity to change the course of his or her life in future. When a situation comes, that background idea will prompt and it will rescue him or her from a great danger. So, Swami Vivekananda says in one place that fill up your mind, stuff your mind with spiritual thoughts, all positive thoughts. Then when the situation will arise, because of the repository or the stock of good thoughts, positive thoughts, one thought will come and will rescue you from that situation. Otherwise you keep on going to the doctors, keep on going to the elders or somebody, give me idea what to do in this situation. I used to ask so many questions to Swamis. Oh, you are asking so many questions, what does it mean, You have not read Swami Vivekananda, Read the whole complete verse first and your questions will be reduced. Because you get so much information which is capable enough to resolve or answer your questions. So, vast literatures are available, good thoughts are everywhere, only we have to create. It is like here in this room or outside everywhere, the radio waves are everywhere. You tune your radio to a particular station and the same radio is taking those waves and gives the sound of good thoughts or bad thoughts, whichever you want. So we need to tune ourselves with whatever that is positive. It helps. The books will help you. The good practices will help you. Now, other things has taken place of the books, but whichever way, the thoughts which are helpful to us, we should be stuff our mind. Without stuffing our mind, we in our brain, because of the situation, because of the surroundings, so much information is there which is not needed. I remember one person is there with us working. So she always said this to me. My brain is very small. This information I don't keep in my mind. Actually very smart. Doesn't want to keep the unnecessary information in the mind. That which is useful to me, I keep in my mind, remaining out. So, when food comes to you, you immediately say, no, I don't take this because I have diabetes. I don't take this because I have cholesterol. I don't take this because I have this. But when the information and the thoughts come, we don't discriminate whether these are good for me or not good for me. So as we are conscious about our body, so much we have to be conscious about our mind also. That's for me also, for you also. Nobody is free from that. So we need to be discriminative between that which is harmful to us and that which is beneficial to us. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.